Alrighty, gentlemen, what's up? All right, man. So we have some technical difficulties, so it is what it is. Show must go on. This is how this shit works. Again, this video is going to be done live. This is the very first training for a class that will, I guess, now become a camp, an offline camp, and today's going to be the very first online training. So I've done this in certain pieces this way, but not like this, because I don't like online trainings. I like live trainings, so people can really get the feel for this. So we will make this work. So today, the way that I did Real Estate Warriors, I'm breaking Real Estate Warrior down into 2 parts. Get it? That's 2 parts, because, well, 3 parts actually. So there's the mindset side of being a real estate warrior. Then there's the side of the part for me, again, that I believe that works. Now, when you get this first part, the first part's easy. If you start off on the second part, that's great, but you will hit very huge learning curves, and you will feel like the business itself doesn't fucking work. But in this instance, you will have to be a real estate warrior, which is why I go through, like we said, mindset first, and then we're going through the way that I learned. I don't know what everybody else fucking started and how they did shit, but I can tell you most of the guys I know started the way that I'm going to share with you today, and so that's why I'm starting it this way. So I'm making a video, and the information as it relates to the topics and the points that I want you to walk away with are going to be there. And I got my phone, so I can make sure to stay on top of this stuff. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start that. And I will let you guys know exactly how this is going to work, not work, and we'll go from there. Cool? Cool. Where's my shit? Hold on. Yeah, and I had some crazy shit go down, so I was like, all right, man, I'm not going to be able to shoot it at the office. I'm not going to be able to do this here. We got to get the cameras lined up. All right, cool. So again, first thing we're going to go over is, you guys know this. Hopefully you guys, like, first, how many guys are actually excited about wanting to learn this information? And the other side to this is, aside from you just being excited about this thing, I want to kind of give you some a framework, give you something to stand on. Because who gives a shit how excited you are? Because if you can't pull the trigger, you won't win. Real estate is a big boy game. It's not like stock where you lose your shit and it's on a computer. You see it, you lose it. This thing bankrupts great people. I mean, everybody you know that you love and all these different people, they keep claiming, like, think about it. Donald Trump has been bankrupt before. Myself, I've been bankrupt before. All of the commercial players that I know has had huge financial losses and or been bankrupt before. This is the big game as it relates to being a business owner and an investor. If you play this game, this is a fucking big boy game. So I'm just going to let you know up front, if you aren't committed to be a warrior in this game, there's a reason why I'm going to describe what a warrior is as we relate to being a real estate warrior. If you aren't a real estate warrior, you will lose. You will get slaughtered in the jungle. You will get slaughtered on the battlefield. This is war. This isn't, hey, how's it going? And blah, blah, blah. That's the nice shit people play. But when you understand, like, this is war, you will look at this whole thing differently. I just want to put that up front. So is it cool if I tell you a little bit about my background so you guys really get the gist of this? And some of you guys, as you're watching this, whether it's now or you watch it later, you're going to really get how I got into this game and why I was successful at this game and why so many other people get in this game and don't succeed. And you'll be able to see the distinction between the two. So first off, like I said, I'll tell you a little bit about me and my background. I started off real estate investing in '96. I used to sell drugs. I got in trouble after I got out of the military, and I started a little street organization, and that thing got busted. I started off with nothing, and I raised the stakes as it relates to having workers, having homes that we sold out of, and I had a small little army. And I recruited those people. I don't smoke drugs. I've never done drugs. I've never been high. I don't drink. I stopped drinking when I was 21, which is around that time when I started doing that, because I saw the downfall of people who had bad habits, and I didn't want those habits because I didn't plan on going to jail. So during that time when I had the felony charge, I had to kind of make some choices when I was on probation. And I was also doing some other stuff here and there, some sales things, because I needed to have a legitimate job. But long story short, I was working. I got tired of working. I was looking up at the ceiling, working freaking 12 to 14-hour days at night, or nights, because I work nights. And I was like, man, there's got to be more to my life than this. And if this is what people do and they just fucking eke by meagerly with the check, I'm not interested in that. And I went to work early and I bought a book out of the store. Or I didn't buy a book. I sat on the floor and I read that book for a while because I didn't have money. I had to wait till I get a check. So I read the book, and then eventually I got to a certain part in that book where I'm like, okay, I got this. This is the same hustle as before. You just got to freaking hustle up, get shit done, negotiate your deals, and then take those deals, turn around, flip, and make money. That was my mindset, right? And eventually I bought the book. I went to work. I sat down. I grabbed the newspaper. I put the newspaper here, the book over on this side. I read straight out of the book. I called every number in the newspaper. And I eventually found somebody who had some properties and who was interested in doing the shit that I said I wanted to do. So then the next day I was like, oh shit, I don't have any money and I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. So I did what the book said. It was I called these people in the phone book because it was an old book, right? It was in '96. And I called everybody in the phone book out of Austin, out of the phone, the yellow pages in Austin. Imagine it's a huge book. It's like this thick. So when I got from the A's to the S's, I want you to picture this. Book this thick. I got from the A's to the S's in this book. I finally got somebody who would listen to me. I finally got somebody to say, hey, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. His name was Bob Leonetti. He's like, you don't even know what you're doing, man, but you got all the way to this point, and it sounds like you're driven. Why don't you come into my office tomorrow? Let's talk. And I went into his office, and he was like, look, that's crazy what you're doing. A few people do that. And I'm like, shit, I thought everybody did this. If you bought these books, you'd be successful. I didn't know, right? Because I came from a different world. And he was like, let me help you. So that started my journey from, I would say, 96, 97 to today, to pushing. Now, what I did was I got into the game it was the book that I read was called Fast Cash with Real Estate. Now, that book's, been written a bunch of different times. A lot of the strategies don't fucking work. But I'm telling you, I'm going to give you a short version of that. So what I was doing was getting properties, and I was turning around and I was selling them, selling the contracts. Everyone's like flipping paper and blah, blah, and all the other stuff. I flip properties. Well, what they do is not flipping. That's not what a real investor calls flipping. What we did was we did assignment of contracts at the time, and I did a lot of them. So I'm good at that. I'm good at negotiating because that's all about negotiating, which I came from a street game, and I understood what negotiating was. So I've made – shit, man, I've never really tallied it all up, but I know I've done over $50 million in transactions, in real estate transactions, typically with no money of my own. No money down, all creative financing and or some form of creative financing with some level of financing, whether it was mine or somebody else's. Primarily, I used the same weapon with different situations and strategies all the time, whether it was residential, commercial, multifamily, and or apartment complexes, single family, just the dirt, moving properties, small subdivisions, CPR projects like I've done here, as well as trailer parks, mobile home parks, and selling just the paper, which are the notes, as well as doing mechanics liens. So I have done it all, as well as I bought secondary paper from mortgages or bad notes and stuff like that, collected on them, and also used to work in collections a little bit, making shitty calls for Bob in their office for a while, and then I took over that, and I started buying bundles and buying 10 to 15 bad notes at a time, and then going down chasing that money and creating passive income and flow for myself. So I got the background to be able to do this shit. I've just avoided teaching because I've respected my mentors in the past so much that I've stayed out of their lane. But let me tell you, that was me being naive. This is a fucking battle. This is war. You need to be a real estate warrior, and you will be broke trying to stay respectful to people who are ahead of you, and they want you there because once you step into this game, it is a dog-eat-dog world. It's not against them, but if you keep what you kill. And if you aren't a good fucking warrior, that means you're not a good hunter. And if you aren't a good hunter, you will not eat. And not everybody hunts in the same game. Like some people hunt big commercials, some people hunt mid-sized apartment complexes, some people hunt just multifamily homes, some people hunt just single-family homes, some people hunt fixer-uppers, and some people hunt mobile home parks, and like there's just an array. I'm not going to go over all that. I'm just going to go over the general principles of shit that works over and over and over again. So this is what's worked for me. Like I said, I've taught real estate investors. All my real estate investors have worked really well. I've been a real estate investor for a couple of different big companies for apartment complexes, as well as residential properties and homes, creative financing. Usually people come to me because they like the creative financing side, and I'm good at that. And I'm good at the mindset to be able to do it. And I make my fucking deals work. And you will learn that today. So again, what's in this for you? First, you're going to learn the mindset of being a real estate warrior and how to go out and have the mindset of somebody who's committed to go out and actually make money in this business, not just own property so you can brag and tell your friends at parties, I'm a real estate investor and I got this, and still be fucking broke. I played that game for a while too, and it sucks. when I made a decision to do what worked and make money, which is how I started, and then I went back to it, and then I lost all of it, and then I started again, and then I made money, and then I took my eye off the ball and then played the game again. Like, let me tell you, there is a way to play this game to make money, and there's a way to play this game to be broke. And I want to teach you the principles and the habits of what I've done that's worked, the don'ts that didn't, as well as a lot of other investors that I'm friends with, that I've negotiated with, that I've coached with, that I've coached, all of those people. So you get a lot of a lot of fucking knowledge on this specific training. All right. So again, what are you going to learn? The mindset to being a real estate warrior, the mindset of what it takes to go out there and actually make money and focus out there, the mindset of all of the things required, and you're going to learn the strategies. Part one is going to be, and I believe you need this, this is the nice house game. When I say the nice house game, this is not the shitty balled over house with termites, roach infested, rat infested houses with the ceilings and roofs falling in. I've done those, and I can tell you, I've made the same amount of money on those as I did the nice ones. So if you're going to pick and choose the fucking nice ones over the shitty ones. Don't do it because it seems like it's easier. It's not easier. It's just as fucking hard, and I'm going to shorten your learning curve today. So first off, it's going to be the mindset. Secondary piece is going to be like creatively buying and making money fast on the pretty houses. And the part about the pretty houses is that your negotiation skills get made like that because you're looking for a specific type of person and you're going to negotiate a specific type of way. That means that when we get into part two and you're dealing with apartment buildings and shopping centers and all this other stuff and dealing with brokers, your negotiation skills will be savvy enough dealing with owners. So that way you get an understanding of how people think. Because if you go into the game secondary, like trying to deal with apartment complexes, shopping centers, and all this other shit, and you don't have a baseline understanding of human behavior, how people think and make decisions in your negotiation, how to structure your deals on a smaller scale, you will fuck up your big ones. You'll think that that game doesn't work, and they will know right away you have no skills whatsoever, and you're wasting their time. All right? So this will give you this. So first off, we're going to go through that, and I want to go through the principle number one because we're going to get right into it. And first off, this is how this is going to go. First, before we start, you're going to have a warrior's mindset about your real estate investing. And the number one mindset I want to give you to consider, the number one principles, is that you are the number one asset in this game. As a warrior, just like all warriors, if you fail, everyone fails. You understand that? When you fail, they fall. Your team falls when you fail. Your family falls when you fail. You got it? So if you don't recognize that at this juncture, you are the number one asset. You negotiate, you hunt, you kill, you chop it all up, you make the money, you run your teams, you make people do what they got to do, you show up every day early, you leave late, you wake up early, you fucking work out, you meditate, you pray, you get your brain right, you go off, you spend time with your family, your loved ones. Before you go wage war in the marketplace, as a real estate warrior, that is your daily activities. If you don't invest in your number one asset, which is yourself, especially that you are going to go out into the business war battleground to wage war out there and hunt and fucking kill, you will come undone because you will be dealing with so many people's bullshit. You won't have the capacity as the number one asset on your team to hold space for anyone else. You will come undone, let me tell you. So that's why I said, as it relates to the number one principle I want you to understand to own who you are as a real estate warrior and to wage war out there in your business, excuse me, is that you are your number one asset, okay? And I want you to get a note. You will be taking notes in this one. You will be doing this. So first off, I want you to write down, I am my number one asset as a real estate warrior. I am the number one asset. That's number one principle. Next, you are a leader. You're not a savior. You are not there to save anybody. You're not there to save a property. You're not there to save people's properties from going to foreclosure. You're not there to save any fucking body. You're a leader. You will listen to what they have going on. You will understand what you can do. And then you will offer them a solution that works. You are not there to fucking save them because if they say no outside of your solution, they're on their own burning ship. You didn't put them there. It is not your problem. You are just there to live your life and to have a solution to their problem and lead them to making the right decision or lead them to be where the fuck they are and don't feel bad about it and just move on and that's it. All right. So that's that. I want you to write that down. I'm a leader, not a savior as it relates to being a real estate warrior. Next principle, keep your word. Do what you say. This business is all about that. The difference between Me getting into this business after I was a hustler and I used to sell drugs and do all this stuff, the difference between me and most other investors is that I believed in keeping my word, because I came from a background towards if you didn't do what you say, you got fucking beat up, shot, and or killed. Right? If I take somebody's shit, I don't show up, I don't do what I said after I said, there was no contract that was going to fucking save me. There was no person out there that would say, hey, you know, it's okay, I understand. They didn't understand. This was business to them. This was life and blood, life and death. All right? So when you treat real estate as if you're a real estate warrior, I want you to enter the game with that in your mind, that you will keep your word, because this is life or death for you. You are a warrior. You are a hunter. You are going out there in battle to wage war in the real estate jungle of the world, and you are looking to hunt and kill and bring some food home for your fucking family. All right? Next, act fast. Oh, this is a big one. This is the mindset I want you to have as a real estate warrior. We act fast. The difference between other people and me looking at the same property is that I will act quickly. I won't just wait around. I won't wait till I have all the information. I won't wait till I know the stars are going to line up perfectly for me. Act fast. Write that down on your paper as a principle of being a real estate warrior. I act fast. I'm a real estate warrior. Next, adjust fast. You will get into a situation after you've acted fast and find out some other information that causes you to have to make changes. Do not fucking wait. Adjust fast. If you act fast, it naturally goes that you have to adjust fast, because you can't see everything in front of you. You just take your shot and you deal with it when it gets there. When you see it's something that you can't handle, don't want to handle, don't want to be fucking with, or don't want to be bothered with, or can handle, you just need to make some changes in some of the agreements that you made. Act accordingly. Adjust fast. You understand? It happens right away. I'm a real estate investor. I adjust fast. Next one, tell your truth, not the truth. You see, unfortunately, a lot of real estate investors like to play the win-win game, but unfortunately, they don't understand there's no win-win game in real estate investing. There's I win, you accept. I win, you accept what you can accept, and I don't know whether that's a win for you. That may just be where you are. So from that perspective, if you tell your truth, if you're in a situation where you go, look, I said I can do this, some things have changed for me, I cannot do that, I can do it by this time, did that work for you? That's just your truth. That's your truth. All the other lying real estate investors, I'm a part of a large real estate investor network, and we have a unlimited pool of money. That's bullshit. If somebody goes, hey, have you done a deal like this before? Just say, nope, I haven't done a deal like this one before. This is going to be my first one. Is that a problem? No. Got it. And let's get this fucking done. Yes, that's a problem. Got it. I just want to let you know, because I haven't done one like this before. So, no, I haven't. Or I've done a ton of deals. I just haven't done one like yours. So this will be my first one, man. It's going to be a fucking interesting thing. I mean, what's the problem? That's my truth. That's got to be your truth. You need to tell your truth to people so they can make an adjustments on their side. If they don't want to deal with you, don't fuck them. Do what you say. All right? Next thing, empathy is your secret weapon. The last one. I tell the truth. I tell my truth. That's right. I'm a real estate warrior. All right? The next one, empathy is your secret weapon. You know, it's one thing to be in the business. It's another thing as you're dealing with people while they're going through shit. You need to have empathy, not sympathy, which is why we don't save people. Empathy is I understand where people are coming from. I know what it feels like to have a wife and a kid or a house or roof over my head and not have any money. I understand what that feels like. So my want and willingness to do everything that I can, if I say I'm going to do that, comes from a level of empathy. So I will bust my ass and work really hard because I want to complete the task for them, yes, but I'm there for the money. We'll talk about that later. This is a business. So empathy is used as a secret weapon. That's fuel on the fire. Aside from being a warrior, aside from wanting to succeed, aside from wanting to make money, the fuel that continues to drive you when times get tough has to be your empathy for fucking people and where they are. So that means you shut the fuck up when you're talking sometimes. That means you listen to people and you actually give a shit about them and where they are. So when you make decisions, you make the best decisions for you and you make the right decisions for them based on where you know that they are, that maybe they can't see, but you can see through empathy for them, not sympathy for them. All right? So write that down. Empathy is my secret weapon. I'm a real estate warrior. Next one, be willing to walk away. This is big. I've hung on to some deals. There's a lot of times that we've heard some fancy Nike shirts and some shit like that, like the captain always had to be willing to go down with the ship. Let me tell you, in war, that's bullshit. I've been a soldier, and there's a couple of things like that whole saying, hey, never leave a fallen comrade behind. That's a bullshit thing. I know that's what we believe, but in the end, the mission is more important than that. So you have to be willing to walk away. If the mission is to close a deal, make money, get this thing done in a certain timeline, and you believe it's not going to happen, or something is going on that makes you not be able to do that, you present all things. You go, hey, look, I'm not going to be able to do it, guys. Here's where the fuck I'm at. And they go, well, I don't know. You got to trust it and say, look, you know what? I'm going to walk away from this deal. I'm not interested anymore. I've done that, and I've done very well and succeeded. I have stuck around in deals where I knew I should have walked away from, and later only to turn around and be sued by trying to help a motherfucker that I knew I should have walked away from. All right? So I'm willing to walk away. I'm a real estate warrior. That's a mindset I want you to hold on to in basic general mindset principles. Next, one weapon, different solutions. Always have one weapon. Residential houses, I have one weapon. No matter how I create the deal, no matter what, I secure the deal with this one in one way. And in commercial, no matter what I do, how I do this, I have one strategy. This strategy fucking works every time. It allows me to create value, make money really quickly, and to be able to raise value in the properties very fast for myself, and to be able to exit and to be able to known for my work. That's my one weapon for different scenarios, different situations. Doesn't matter. And we will construct what your one weapon is, different scenarios, right, along this thing. But one weapon, different situations. I'm a real estate warrior. That's the mindset I want you to have. Next, always trust your gut. There are going to be times where you're going to get into a situation. It's going to look like a great fucking deal, and something in you, something in your soul will say, you know what, not this one, walk away. I had a deal like that. I had a deal that we walked away from, and later down the line, somebody got into that deal, and they got fucking hammered. They got dragged into some federal indictment, bullshit stuff, and we got the chance. I got the chance to walk away from that deal. My gut told me to walk away. I knew it. I trusted my gut. I really wanted a deal. It was a lot of freaking money on the table, but I saw what was happening. It wasn't the deal. It was the person I was dealing with. Trust your gut. This is war. You are a warrior. And human nature. There's things about people in this game that you're dealing with. There big money's on the table, big risk on the table, and lives are on the stake. Lives are at stake. People do some crazy shit in this business, and you need to be aware of that, okay? So the only way that you can be aware of it, even if things smell great, look great, sound great, is great, there'll be something in you, your own instincts that say, hey, you know what? Something's wrong about this deal. I think I'm going to walk. Those deals you fucking walk from. All right, so last but not least, it's business. It's not personal. I'm a real estate warrior. It's business. It's not personal. Warriors don't look at someone on the other side of the battlefield and not care, but they recognize they're in the business of war. As a real estate warrior, you need to recognize you're in the business of real estate. You're not in the business of friendships and empathy and all the other stuff. Even though you may feel those things, have those things, this is business. It's not personal. So people are going to say shit to you. Don't take it personal. People are going to act a certain way. Don't take it personal. There's people who call my ads and called off my marketing and shit like that and will talk shit. And I'll be like, hey, you know what, motherfucker? Like, look, just don't call my shit anymore and hang the phone up and go about my day. Initially, it would piss me off because I took it personal. It's not personal. It's business. People will bitch and complain because that's what human beings do. Human being shit. That's what they do. This is business all the way down to the last red cent. They will not like you even after they got paid. They'll always picture you fucked them over or how much money you made, or they'll not like the amount of money that they made. They'll never feel like it's good enough. That is not your problem. Your job is to make sure that you get the deal, get the property, make the money that you need, make sure that you kept your word and did everything to the best of your ability, and fucking go on to the wage the next war. You are a real estate warrior. So it's a business. It's not personal. I'm a real estate warrior. This is the mindset side of this stuff, and I'm going to break this up because it makes sense to break it up at this juncture. So if we recap these things. I am a real estate warrior. I'm the number one asset. I'm a real estate warrior. I'm a leader, not a savior. I'm a real estate warrior. I speak my word, or I keep my word. I'm a real estate warrior. I act fast. I'm a real estate warrior. I adjust fast. I'm a real estate warrior. I tell my truth. I'm a real estate warrior. Empathy is my secret weapon. I am a real estate warrior. I'm willing to walk away. I'm a real estate warrior. One weapon. I use one weapon for different situations. I'm a real estate warrior. I always trust my gut. I'm a real estate warrior. It's just business. It's not personal. I am a real estate fucking warrior. You own these simple principles. You will kill it in this business. You'll make all the money that you want, big or small. You want to use this as a primary business or a secondary tool of more investments. You will get this thing. But when you understand you are the number one asset, this is a business. This isn't fucking personal, and all those other internal principles and mindset principles that you need to keep to be powerful in this game so you succeed as a warrior and you actually win in the real estate game. This is it. All right. So stay tuned to the next video, and we'll go from there. If you have any questions, post them here.